So I joined Twitter in 2009, so I've been on it for about like 7 years. So I think the reason I was so compelled to join Twitter was because of the fact that it's so instant and that you can find out about breaking stories from around the world so quickly before the news can even write a story about it or an article just be typed up online. And say there is an occurrence happening around the world, those involved had the accessibility to tweet it out to the world and let everyone know what's happening from a first-hand experience. So with that, it can also spread like wildfire through like retweeting, which is then just a chain of retweets expanding among the Twitterverse, and everyone knows about it within minutes. So from that, it can just spread and everyone knows exactly what's happening without the media twisting exactly the events. And then I've also noticed throughout this assignment that people have different opinions on a certain like a topic, and this could be just as simple as like a public figure. For example, I'm a huge supporter of Kim Kardashian and her career, and I know a lot of people aren't. So I was really determined to find a relevant and recent article that talked about her in a positive and empowering manner, and I did, and I was so stoked to share it with others through the use of the hashtag to educate them on another side of her that they might not be aware of because they've only had knowledge of her through what the media has said about her. So I think that's a really positive aspect about Twitter. It lets you see all sides of something, and I always think that's important when making a decision on a certain topic or an opinion on someone. When we started this assignment, I decided to use my own personal account. This was because I already had accounts that I followed and people I knew that were interested in the stories too that followed me. So I know that for one, I could find a variety of stories easily because I already followed accounts, and then two, my followers would be interested in it too. When it comes to Twitter, I feel like people are either for it or against it. So people that are on it are usually heavily involved in something. For instance, I know I love using the platform because of the accessibility to all the people I admire and just news about them. So it gives me access to fandoms I'm involved in and also meet other people that are in the fandom. More on a professional side, like I've stated before, it gives me access to breaking stories or even just stories that aren't even said on TV and even newspapers. Things I'm passionate about, they're not always discussed on other news platforms. Twitter gives me the chance to search for it, either find articles or find people that are like just talking about it. So I feel like others choose not to have a Twitter account because it doesn't suit their lifestyle or their interests. So to me, Twitter isn't usually a social platform for friends you know in real life, since Facebook already does that. Therefore, if you haven't got any interests that are not discussed on Twitter, that person probably feels like they have no need for it. So Facebook gives trending stories around the world, but I feel like Twitter can be just a more personal level. So when you click on the hashtag, you can just either see people talking about it or news articles being shared. I feel like Twitter is just so many people talking about the one thing, and then you can just have branch off that with your own discussion with someone around the world that you might not even know, but you're interested in their opinion, or just have a discussion and just share your thoughts and feelings. So personally, I use Twitter way more than any other social media, but that's just because it caters so much for my needs. I love talking to people around the world about bands, TV shows, movies, etc. It gets me more connected with the world. It opens my mind to different opinions and views on certain topics, and you can just find out more things more quickly pretty much. And for me, I'm all about things being instant. I want things quickly, so Twitter just really caters for all of that. But all in all, I really enjoyed the assignment. It got me to pay more attention to the things I tweet about and how I word them, with like the language I use or just about the character limit on each tweet. It encouraged me to share my opinion more on stories that I find interesting and compelling. So usually I would just read like an article and I might retweet it, but this assignment with like sharing stories on the hashtag, it really encouraged me to like retweet and put my opinion out there. And I like the fact that this assignment meant that those people without Twitter had a chance to get familiar with it, maybe continue to use it or not, but at least they were able to see the benefits of it. So therefore, I think it was really beneficial assignment for all of us.